mile marker 204 on the Oregon coast driving south. What a view. Right next to Elbow Lake, right here. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Stunning. I love driving here at sunrise. Mostly because there's no traffic. I love the sunsets, but there's too much traffic at night. I love driving in the morning at sunrise. There's like nobody out here. And it's so beautiful. The sun is just coming over the forest. There's a dead raccoon in the middle of the road. You know, people say, oh, gross. No, you can make a raccoon hat if you wanted to. That's how people used to survive in the winter. They'd put a raccoon skin hat on their head so they wouldn't freeze to death. I won't tell you what they did with the rest of the raccoon, because you're probably eating breakfast or something. You don't want to hear it. That guy's going like 75 miles an hour. Maybe it's payday for him. He's all excited. He gets to go buy those new rims for his motorcycle. You know, in America, we're living for the wrong things. We're living like we're going to be here for 300 years. And so it distorts everything you do during your lifetime. You know, the Bible tells you how you're supposed to be living. How to find contentment. And money has very little to do with it. But that's not how the average American thinks. I just made a big long video about generational wealth. In America, we've gotten away from it. We've gotten away from God's system. And we're basically just living for ourselves in our retirement years. We're just living to please our own self-indulgence. You know, God would ask you, how come you're indulging yourself while your children and grandchildren are suffering? Your own bloodline, your own children are suffering in this world because you are not helping them in your retirement years. And I don't mean just giving them money, no. Giving them wisdom on how to do it. Teaching them how to become debt-free, how to save money, how to stop being big and fat, how to eat healthy, how to stop wasting all their money, how to stop all the stress they have in their lives. You, the elder, you're the one with all the power and all this information to teach your children and your grandchildren how to live differently for God. But I'm telling you, there's 70 million baby boomers, and they're not doing well We got 50% of baby boomers. True story. I'm a baby boomer. I know what I'm talking about. We got 50% of baby boomers living with no money. 50%. That's 35 million baby boomers have zero money. Zero money. Why? They've made over $1 million in their lifetime. How come they don't have any? I mean, they literally spent $1 million in 40 years per person. And now they're living on Social Security only. That's only $25,000 a year for 40 years is $1 million. Most people have made more than that. Well, how come we have 50% of baby boomers, 35 million with zero money to their name except for their Social Security check? And the other 50% who have money, they are in a mode of complete and total self-indulgence, thinking, I worked 40 years, and I deserve this. Whatever they have, 50,000, 100,000, maybe they have 2 or 3 incomes because of maybe they were in the military or they worked at the post office or a government job for 20 years. Maybe they're getting, $6,000 a month, and they're out to prove to the world they're going to drink every last bottle of wine on this earth and eat every chocolate bar. No, the reason you worked the 40 years was to serve God and help your children and then help your grandchildren. Do you know what it would do for your grandchild if you showed up to their school and walked right in and says, I'm here to see my grandson or my granddaughter. I want to make sure they're doing okay. That would blow their mind. It would change their life for the better. You imagine going into the college, your grandson's college, and he gets out of class and you're sitting in his dorm room talking to his roommates about life. And you're like, oh, hey, there you are, buddy. I'm going to take you and your buddies out to dinner tonight and teach you how to do it differently. But no, you're too busy. You're too busy on a Carnival cruise or Disneyland or drinking wine, or you're down at the senior club talking about your bridge game, or you're playing cribbage somewhere or poker, or you're at the casino. In America, we have it backwards. We're no longer serving God in this baby boomer generation. $100 might not be much to you as a baby boomer. Well, for the 50% who have money. But $100 with wisdom, $100 with wisdom could change your grandchild's life. But we're not doing that anymore. And so our children are growing up to be without God, no Bible, no prayer. They're not teaching your grandchildren about God or Jesus. They have no money. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to stay home and throw a softball or throw a frisbee and have fun for free. They don't even know how to make something out of a piece of wood. They don't know how to remodel their bathroom for like $700. If you do all the work yourself, you can repaint the whole thing and trim it up and put a new used cabinet in and a new mirror, $700. Get a new shower head, new toilet seat cover, redo the whole floor and some fancy tile. About $700 if you do it all yourself. And they don't know how to do it because you've never taught them.